I wish these were still lows, but I'll take a good mid. Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and review at these bad boys right here. This is the Reebok Question in the Mocha colorway, or the Mocha Toe, if you will, because that's how they name everything now apparently. The pink toes, the yellow toes, the purple toes, the pearlized blue toes, the suede toes, the red toes. It's like going into a nail salon.
Told you.
No, they don't look like actual toes.
They do.
They don't. So first things first, just to let you guys know, especially for all of you new people here in the sneaker world, no, Travis Scott did not have any influence on this colorway right here. Yes, I know that most of you guys think that brown shoes is due to Travis Scott, but this is a thing that's happened like over a decade ago. Skate shoes started doing it really first, and then basketball shoes started following suit, which I thought was cool because skate shoes were originally inspired by most modern basketball shoes, at least in the 90s and 2000s. That modern, not today's modern. And within the same era, basketball shoes were taking color inspirations from skate shoes. Full circle moment. But this guy right here was actually an original colorway featured on the Reebok Question Low. So the Reebok Question Low, back in the day, around 1999, I believe, that was kind of their casual or lifestyle offering, even though you could play in them, but that's what the mid tops were supposed to be for, whereas the low tops you were supposed to wear casually. So they came in casual colors. So one of the more popular ones, especially one of my favorites, was the oatmeal toe that we did see a reissue very recently. We actually have our video, well, the thumbnail's here, you can click over there or something like that, you know what I mean? The drop down thing. But anyways, that shoe also released alongside this shoe, and I'd only seen this shoe in its original low top form in stores one time, and I remember seeing them and being like, wow, those are dope, but I was poor. Fast forward to 2022, they're back for the first time ever, but no longer in low top form. Instead, they switched things up, turned them into a mid, and do I love this? Well, yes, I do. I mean, I love the Reebok Question, so this to me is one of the greatest shoes of all time, but I still would have preferred them to have been like how they originally were and had a mid top. I think there's room for both. The outsole on this particular pair is a little bit different. It is brown, but I think that it looks great because it almost looks like a gum bottom. So I really love this. I love the feel of this rubber too. Like for those of you guys that have never played in a pair of Reebok Questions, first off, we do have a performance review. It's from a long time ago, but it's still valid. And the outsole actually performs really, really well. The rest of the shoe, not so much, but the traction surprisingly was pretty good. And again, I think this would have been a great way to introduce both of the models. Introduce this new one with a new kind of twist or a new look to it, but also dropping the low top version. Will we ever see a low top version of this brown toe? I don't know, but I sure hope so.
Please, 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 please.
The midsole itself is EVA, and at the time of its original release, you know when the Reebok Question originally released?
1996.
How did you know? I think you thought that was funnier than what it actually was. But thank you for entertaining me like that. I greatly appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm a real one.
Yes, she makes me feel special.
Every day.
Sometimes. Anyways, at the time of its original release, the EVA midsole was lightweight and all that stuff. It's not considered lightweight anymore, at least not when there's so much of it. This is a chunky midsole. It's a big boy. You can see the Hexalite pods on the outside. Those are non-functional Hexalite units. They always have been, they always will be. This is their version of kind of like an air unit or an air window where you are being shown what's inside the shoe. So that was the call out to the tech. A lot of people actually rip on Reebok for putting non-functional Hexalite units on the side, but that's just the way that the shoe's always been. Because again, like an air window or an air unit, you can see the tech and everything. It just so happens that that's a functional piece of equipment. This is not. But there is Hexalite on the bottom. So, I mean, there's that. The downside though is that none of the Hexalite is like traditional real Hexalite. It's like that new stuff. And I mean, it's better than nothing, but it's definitely not the original. So the original was mad comfortable. These guys right here, they're just chill. I probably wouldn't want to hoop in these, although I probably still would hoop in them. Swap out the insole, you're good to go. Speaking of the insole, it's a piece of shit. It's not like the stuff that when I was growing up, they had the giant Reebok crash pad. That thing was awesome. It was a big, thick polyurethane insole. The shoe itself is not uncomfortable by any means though. They're just not as comfortable as they used to be or as they, in my opinion, should be. Now the upper on these guys is fantastic. Like this stuff right here for 150 bucks. Like I know that we were just talking about this. We'll talk about this more in another video as well, because I did get another pair of New Balances, believe it or not. And I'm just kind of like, not that I was unaware, because I've been complaining about this since I've been on YouTube. It's been 12 years, right? But when you go and you buy a Jordan brand product or a Nike brand product and you are spending top dollar on nothing, like it's really just amazing how brainwashed they've gotten us as consumers, where this for $150, I mean, you're getting like really nice leather, really nice suede. I'm surprised every time I get one of these in, I'm just like, ooh, the leather's so, yeah, like you don't smell toxic glue, you smell nice material, you know what I mean? Like this smells like quality products. And it's just unfortunate that that's just kind of like the mindset of the consumer, especially today, where we got a lot of new people in the sneaker world, which I think is great because it kind of like makes things move forward and all that stuff. But at the same time, those new people are unaware or unwilling to even look at this just because, you know, the hype trends work. So they'll look at this and they'll make fun of it because it's got a brown toe on it, even though it's an original colorway, but they'll immediately laugh and be like, haha, you're trying to be Travis Scott, which is the furthest thing from the truth. So it's unfortunate, but if you're a sneakerhead that actually values your dollar, this material right here is fantastic. But not all the material is fantastic. So the section right here that's ribbed on the back collar as well as the tongue, those two areas originally were vinyl. They're synthetic on this particular pair, so they're not quite vinyl, but they made it look kind of textured and everything, so you can kind of differentiate the two materials. So the smoother leather and all of that stuff is actual leather, whereas that heavy textured stuff is the fake stuff. And if you're looking at that texture and thinking, wow, that looks really familiar, I swear I've seen it on a lot of my Jordans recently, there you go, man. They're faking the funk over there. This right here though, not so much. The toe itself is fantastic. They usually put really great materials on the toes. This one's no different. It's a really nice suede on there. It's a very shortcut suede on top of that, and I think that it looks great. Same material right there on the back. Speaking of the back, I love the back of this shoe, man. The number 3 on there, it looks amazing, especially my particular pair where none of those 3s are crooked. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, they do fit true to size, so whatever you typically wear, that's exactly what I would recommend. My only main critique on this particular shoe, at least the one that I have in hand, is that the toe areas, you can see some of the glue bleeding, which is normal when you have really nice materials like this. This is where we'll get it with some Jordan products where people are like, oh, I can see the glue. And it's just like, yeah, they need to glue things together, and the glue will seep a little bit with a soft material that's as porous or as absorbent as a nubuck or a suede. So unless you want your shoes to fall apart, they kind of got to glue them together. Anyways, this looks like a colorway outside of the outsole that I think you would have liked had they been lows. But I know that this shoe at the same time is something that you dislike with a passion. So are these a turd or what?
These shoes remind me of elementary school.
In what way?
Because I know our daughter had one. I think she had to do it for like the Boston Tea Party. I personally had to make like a journal for, I think we were in the 4th grade. We had to pretend like we were traveling the Oregon Trail. And so you'd have to like stain your papers, and that looks like it was soaked in tea or coffee, and it's just so icky looking.
I think that the outsole looks great. And I don't know, like this is one of those weird changes that almost enhances to me the look of things. It's interesting to hear your take on it because clearly that's not the case for you.
It looks like some kind of candy your grandma would pull out of the bottom of her purse.
I love those kind of candies. Those butterscotches and stuff. Man, those things are awesome. But let us know what you think about them down below in the comment section. Did you cop? Did you not? Is the Reebok Question one of your favorite shoes as well? Also, if you're liking this shirt and you wanted a version of it, you're too late.
Store closed Sunday.
We were advertising it on Instagram, here on the channel, other places, I don't know, Twitter, all that stuff. It was out there. So hopefully you were able to support Sense Apparel and grab one of the tees. If not, maybe there will be a restock. Fingers crossed. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. And until next time, guys, have a good one. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love these shoes?
-2.
Come on, man. They look so good.